Hi everyone. So, topic of video is Enneagram correlations with Jungian functions, which is a topic I've been thinking about for a long time, trying to figure it out. I have failed because I don't really see a consistent correlation. There is like a general correlation, like some functions correlate with some Enneagram types more, like Enneagram 7 and extroverted perception functions, extroverted judging functions with Enneagram 8, etc., etc. But it's not always. So really, it seems that all combinations are possible. You can have any kind of cognition and any type of Enneagram pattern kind of together. However, I did notice something interesting, and that's what I wanted to share in this video. So I'll do that right now. Okay, I've noticed that if you look at several people who have the same Enneagram type, but a different cognition, you can see how their Enneagram pattern plays out differently through their functions. Kind of like, if you like, personality to me seems currently sort of like glasses, in which the functions are the frame and the Enneagram patterns are the lens. And that combination, like the functions merging with the functions, the Enneagram merging with the functions, create your individual pair of glasses through which you subjectively experience reality. So that's what I'm kind of trying to understand right now, is how the different Enneagram types play out differently through different functions. And I'll give an example of some things I've noticed. So I have two friends who are both Enneagram 8. And one of them is an extroverted thinking dominant, I think ESTJ, and the other is ENFJ, so extroverted feeling dominant. And what's interesting is that they're both very, very clear 8s, like they have all the patterns of 8, but they will often like disagree on stuff, and you can see how it comes from their like functions, like how it's just like, it's very interesting. I'll give you an example. Let's say you would discuss like what do you do when like you have an enemy, somebody's trying to hurt you. So extroverted thinker dominant, his approach is a very militant approach. It's like, you have an enemy, the right thing, the only option is to defeat them. You just wipe them out, you defeat the enemy, it's trying to hurt you, it's logical. His reasoning for it is that it's logical. But what's funny about it is that what he means by logical is extroverted thinking logic. It's like, it's the facts of reality. It's, if you look at history, the animal kingdom, or just what he would say reality, you would see that this is how reality works. And so that's what works, that's what's efficient, that's what is logical. And so it's just common sense, and no other, he rejects any form of buts or ifs or disclaimers. He doesn't have space for them at all. Now my extroverted feeling dominant friend, he will have the same basic perception, and like he's very serious about it as well. Like, you have an enemy, the right thing to do is like you destroy them, you defeat the enemy, basically. But he will have like a few things are different. First thing that's different is his reasoning. He will often tie his reasoning to like cultural things. Like, he might say that the reason you should behave this way, like you defeat the enemy, is because it's like authentic to the culture and the area in which he lives in. So like, he's part of a culture that he believes is like, doesn't play victim and like has certain ways of behavior in certain situations, and therefore from like a cultural perspective, the right thing to do would be to like defeat a particular enemy. But he will also add a philosophical context to his arguments, a lot of like TI kind of arguments, ideology, and this is the most like interesting thing, is that he will have this perspective of like on a fundamental level, like that's what you do, but at the same time he will aim for harmony with the enemy. And what he would say is that you need to attempt to change the role of the character that you play in your enemy's story. So basically, you need to understand the perspective of the enemy, or the other, or the group that's like, or the person, or the society, and you need to understand the legitimacy of their subjective experience or narrative of reality, and then you need to expand the paradigm in a way that puts you in a different role in the eyes of the enemy. So you have this entire philosophy of how to create a state of harmony. But the 8 pattern is always there, and one of the ways to see that is he will emphasize very clearly that it's only that this change in the paradigm is supposed to create a situation in which both you and the person who was your enemy until now, or the group, feels that they won and that they're in a place of power. It's never from a place of mercy or forgiveness or surrender or any of those things. It's always from a place of empowerment and feeling that both are powerful. So like you can only create, he wants harmony, but only if you both still feel powerful. The power always stays in the equation.